Alright there, geezers, Jules here from FGS, home of the Future Games Show, and you know what? I bloody love Fallout, even before the TV... Wait, this intro feels awfully familiar. Oh, that's right, because I recently did an episode looking at games that were like the original Fallout that were radder than a rad scorpion rollerblading to 2000s new metal. But you know what, my friend? Much like when the radiation sickness you've been suffering from causes you to mutate and grow 2 new spines, I am goddamn back, baby, with a new deep cut-laden list, but this time with a slight twist. Also, tunnel snakes rule. Yes. For you see, my fellow Wasteland wanderers, we're going to be focusing on an area that I only gave a passing mention to in the prior video, that being the first-person Fallout experience that Bethesda breathed life and a hell of a lot of bugs into back when they first hit the market with Fallout 3. So it's out with the turn-based isometric irradiation and in with iron sights, base building, and of course a host of horrible creatures to turn inside out with over-the-top weapons. So grab your Rad-X, a delicious box of yum-yum deviled eggs, and of course your trusty big iron for your hip, as we're about to get up close and personal, as I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are 8 games like Bethesda's Fallout I guarantee you've never played. And you know the drill, this is the deep cut with Jules Gill, baby, so expect to see lots of games you've not heard about, games you've not thought about in a while, or ones you need to know a damn sight more about. Let's kick things off with number 8, Z.O.N.A Project X VR. Okay, my friend, we are plonking you right in the middle of an irradiated wasteland right here, and truly making good on our first-person promise by slamming an experience right into your eyeballs, courtesy of VR tech. This is Z.O.N.A Project X VR, a game that is basically, for all intents and purposes, Stalker, but in VR. Or at least that's what it's definitely going for, what with its grim visuals, even grimmer depiction of humanity on the post-apocalyptic brink, and its approach to combat in that there is a lot of it, and boy howdy is it bloody fun. Now, the world is crying out for a good Fallout / Wasteland / Stalker / Metro VR game, and Z.O.N.A has the potential to be just this. And yes, I know that Fallout 4 VR exists, but that isn't to say that it works, because there's so many bloody issues that even right now it's near impossible to play it properly. So you know what? I'm pushing to choose that from my mind palace. Get out of here, mate. Come back with a present and maybe we'll talk. Or at least tie your bloody shoes and do your zip up. Now, don't get me wrong, Z.O.N.A definitely comes with its own issues, but as this is an early access title and the team seems to be pushing out content and updates on the regular, you have to cut it some slack. What it does have, however, is a ton of atmosphere and super creepy locations which will have you squealing in delight as well as shrieking in horror as another weird anomaly ambles out of the darkness and into your field of view, which, let's not forget, is right in your face. Plus, the gunplay in this game is really polished, even in this early state, with plenty of weapons to keep gun nuts satiated and a lovely tactile feel to an item that isn't actually really in your hands. With a bit of work, this could well be your next favourite Fallout game that doesn't even contain a single Vault Boy. Number 7, Pioneer. And so we come to speak about a game that I absolutely can guarantee with 100% certainty you've not played, and that is because it's not actually out yet. And yes, I know I pulled the same shenanigans in the last video and I felt pretty bad about it, but you know what, just come here for a second, look, okay, pal. I know, I've had your trousers down right now with this one. That's on me. But here's the deal. I want to speak about this game because, well, it looks bloody amazing. And I'm actually in the same boat as you are, okay? I've not actually played this game either, so I'm equally frustrated by the wait time, okay? We good? We good? Okay, cheers for understanding, by the way. Also, side note, I'm definitely going to be pulling the stunt later again in the video. What's that? You want to hear more about Pioneer? Now, in short, Pioneer is the game that Fallout 76 wishes it was. A post-apocalyptic MMORPG with a ton of classes, opportunities to create, and enough disgustingly horrible creatures to give the Mothman cult a slew of new deities to worship. Plus, it looks utterly outstanding, with a visual clarity matching its outlandish creature designs. Seriously, that creature that looks like a stick insect mated with Slender Man, that's living rent-free up here in the dome, and I don't like it one bloody bit. Set on an irradiated island in a Soviet-era alternate timeline, Pioneer looks to give players ultimate freedom in their character customization, which factions they want to ally with, and of course, which rundown and dilapidated corners they want to explore next in order to buff and stuff their inventories. And if the idea of sharing loot with your fellow adventurers is offensive, then fret not, my friend, because this game can be played in either PvE with other players or PvP, where you can fight for the right to fill your pockets with as much radiation-laced goodies as you bloody can carry. The Pioneer doesn't just look the business, it will be big business if it hits the market with all of these promises intact. As a post-apocalyptic MMORPG with this much polish, well, it can't be ignored. Number 6, Codename Tenka. Who says that you need to have current hardware to experience everything the Bethesda Fallout games have to offer? Not I, Sonny Jim, because I'm an old head when it comes to this format, and so we're travelling back to the glory days of the PS1 to take a look at a title that for all intents and purposes laid out the format that Bethesda would milk the bloody teat off for years to come. This, my friend, is Codename Tenka, or Life Force Tenka if you're a chuffing Brit like myself, goovner. And I tell you what, pal, this game actually did earn its namesake in my household, because as a kid, Tenka was my bloody life force. It's got robots, it's got mutants, and you best believe it's got shady corporations who are up to no good, and by that I mean making kind of hilarious brain monsters that kind of look like a plate of dropped spaghetti. And speaking of your arms being heavy, by the way, you will definitely feel that, because in Tenka you can pick up multiple upgrades for guns throughout the levels, meaning that come the end of this game, you'll be hitting freaky-deaky mutants with insane combinations of lasers, other effects, debuffs, explosions all at once, and it is utterly glorious. Now, if you want to know what this game is about, here you play as Joseph D. Tenka, and the D stands for that's a lot of mutants that I've got to kill thanks to a nefarious company called Trojan Incorporated trying to do illegal experiments on humans. Yeah, you can see why I shortened it now, can't you? But what this means for you, my friend, is that you will shoot everything with more appendages than you, and if they have less than you, don't shoot them anyway, because this is definitely a case of shoot first, ask questions never, creating an uber-violent take on what would happen if, like, the Doomslayer was locked inside a Vault-Tec vault. And yes, that does sound amazing. If you're looking to blow off some steam, then why not blow off some dust of your PS1 and wrap your gums around this ropey-looking, deep-cut classic. Oh my gosh, oh me, oh my, it sure is cramped here in these vaults. Why don't we just go upstairs and take a look at the big light in the sky? Ah, it's blinding me. Is it the sun? No, it's the opportunity to subscribe to the FGS YouTube channel. Tenuous link, I know, but why not do that, my friends? I mean, you've watched this every week with me, so why not subscribe? Then we could be part of a little conversation. We can chat about old games, we can chat about new games in our other format that we've got, Discover Something New, and you can stay up to date with all the daily gaming content that we put out on the reg. So yeah, click subscribe. And now let's move on to the next one, which is very weird. Number 5, Project Minerva Professional. Okay, so I'm going to throw in a bit of a curveball right here, because this might not be a one-to-one FPS title with all the post-apocalyptic bells and whistles, but more of like an evolutionary step between Fallout 1 and 2 and Bethesda's Fallout lineage. Plus is a cut so deep that I doubt that anyone in the audience has even heard of this game, let alone played it, and even if you have, it deserves mention, because this, oddly enough, is a celebrity tie-in video game. Project Minerva Professional was a video game vehicle designed to promote a Japanese actress, Norika Fujiwara, and for some reason or another, a video game about a depressing future Earth overrun with malevolent robots seemed to be the perfect fit for her. It must have come from that same line of gritty video games that also features Gwyneth Paltrow's Battle Tank Commander and Charlie Day's Bomberman reboot remake. Yes, now with more leather straps. Anyway, back to the action, and there sure is a lot of it, because it's up to the player to tackle these rogue robots using a team of soldiers whom you can issue commands with in real time, as well as control your main character in third/first person shooting. This results in a title that allows you to plan ambushes, lure out robots with your goons, and then blast them to base elements when the trap is sprung. Or at least that's what it should do if the AI weren't out for dinner when it comes to the brains department. Yet, if you're a Bethesda Fallout fan, this is the sort of chump-like companion that you're aiming for, right? Right? Preston Garvey, anyone? Preston Garvey, anyone? Also, if you're a Bethesda Fallout fan, you'll enjoy the feeling of utterly dominating an enemy from a mile away with a sniper rifle, as you realise, much like in Fallout 3 onwards, the best way to deal with foes is from as far away as possible. Plus, the levels are so barren and devoid of life that it's like an actual PS2 version of the Irradiated Wastes. Like, listen mate, I never said that these games were going to be good, I just said that they were like Fallout in some way or another, and this sure is a game that has a lot of bugs, also like Fallout. classic. Number 4, Void Bastards / Mystery Game. Now I know that some of you might be looking at the header to this entry and leaping to your keyboards to type something like, Jules, you Deathclaw egg omelette, you've dropped the ball harder than the nuclear bombs here because I've actually heard of Void Bastards and therefore your guarantee is as good as Preston Garvey saying I'm sure that there aren't any more settlements that are under attack, aka absolutely worthless. Well, hold on, my friends, for let's just discuss a few things right quick. Yes, 1, Preston Garvey is the equivalent of a persistently itchy bumhole, what with his constant reminder to do a job that I'm pretty sure that the General of the Minutemen shouldn't have to do. Secondly, when I was looking on the online Steam page for Void Bastards, there's only like 3,000 reviews, which in the grand scheme of things, that's a drop in the ocean. Loads of people haven't heard about this game. And plus, per usual, I've got a sneaky little secret to share with you because, well, I'll tell you what, we'll get to that in a moment. But first, my friend, we're going to travel into the void and be an utter bastard and talk about Void Bastards. To bring you newcomers up to speed, Void Bastards sees you take on the many, many roles of people imprisoned for the crimes of bureaucracy violation, and so are given the chance to work off some of their very long sentences by travelling to derelict spaceships in order to loot everything not nailed down and return it to your corporate overlords. Now what this means for you is effectively teleporting into mini vault tech chambers rife with horrific mutants and monsters and sucking up loot like a murderous Henry Hoover. It is riotously fun and funny as well, thanks to some stellar voice acting and dour sense of humour, and it's held together by gameplay that rewards stealth as much as it does violence. Which is, well, last time I checked, everything that Fallout is. However, what's this? Another game hidden inside this entry, and one that I can guarantee most people have never heard of because it's actually a sequel to this already fringe title? Well, how does that humble pie taste, my friend? Cold, I bet, because I've been waffling for too long. Good, I hope you choke. As now, we're going to talk about Wild Bastards, which is just over the horizon. I don't actually hope you choke, that was just a joke. Wild Bastards is the spiritual sequel to Void Bastards, this time centering on a group of cyber cowboys who are looking to recruit their old gang, take out the big bad, and then ride off into the digital haven that is the Homestead. With 13 different characters, this roguelite takes the frantic action established in the Void and takes it further with new mutations, new weapons, perks, enemies, and of course, absolutely stunning locales to spill blood and oil all over. All of which give that frantic Fallout looter shooter action vibe that you're clearly all pining for. So there you have it, a deep-ish cut that you can play right now, and a definite deep cut that you can now add to your wish lists. You're welcome. Number 3, Hard Truck Apocalypse. Okay, my friend, this may not be the game that you were expecting when searching for a Bethesda Fallout experience, but trust me, it ticks a lot of the same boxes, and one box that I think you'll agree makes it stand out from the rest of the pack. Now, this game has a post-apocalyptic setting, a dialogue tree system where your decisions impact the fate of survivors, a pseudo-open world to explore, twisted versions of corporations and governments, tons of customization, and plenty of things to shoot at. Now that sounds pretty Bethesda-y, Fallout-y, right? Well, now add the bonus feature of you are also a truck and you have Hard Truck Apocalypse, a vehicular-based RPG shooter that sees you driving a beat-up old banger over the irradiated dunes of a post-cataclysm world and over the heads of anyone who gets in your way. Honestly, I did not expect this game to be as much fun as it was, but upon returning to this 2006 title, I was surprised by the sheer depth on offer, as well as the multiple ways you could solve missions and advance the plot. I was also shocked at the lack of a fast travel system in a game which literally posits you in a fast traveling system, but hey, I'll take what I can get, and what I get is a hard truck. But you know what, my friends, if this isn't your vibe, then don't worry. I know that the next one definitely will be. Because number 2, Fallout 2. Yeah, you heard me right, mate. I bet you, yes, you watching this video has not played the game that I'm about to talk about. And I see you, by the way, sitting there in your Vault-Tec jumpsuit, PJ, sipping from your Brotherhood of Steel coffee mug and munching on your bowl of sugar bombs. But I tell you this, I guarantee that you are a false fan, because you've never ever played Fallout 2, ... pause for effect, in 3D. Yes, that's right, Yugi, my boy. You've activated my trap card. Yeah, I know you're a true Fallout fan. I know you play Fallout 2, but did you actually know that there is a way to play this game in 3D, thus making it more palatable to fans of the later games in this franchise? Well, thanks to the tireless work of modder Jonas IGD, you can experience what you might describe as being Fallout Daggerfall, an FPS with all the blocky goodness of early entries into the genre. And while a ton of the original artwork and interfaces remain intact, one thing that has been significantly reworked has been the combat, which, while still using AP to shoot and reload, does so far quicker than in the original game, meaning that you have a nearly seamless modern-day shooter experience. And to be honest, fans have been calling for something like this for years, giving newcomers to the series a taste of why Fallout is such a monstrously beloved franchise, but also without having to micromanage every step of the way. Which, while being a reason to prop up a solid oak countertop for me, might be an utter boner killer for others. To cap things off, this is a project that has seen recent and regular updates, so until Bethesda's lawyers come a knocking, you too can experience this glorious rendition of Fallout 2 right now. That's right, you can go and get it right now. And number 1, Tetsujin 28 Go. Now, when you think of Fallout, what are the 2 words that immediately spring to mind? Is it Pip-Boy? Is it utterly depressing? Is it f***ing Cazadors? Or is it Liberty Prime? Of course it's the latter, which was one of the standout moments in Fallout 3 and 4 where our big metal monster crushed and stomped in the name of America, planting its flag of freedom right up the backside of those horrible communist swords. Scampering between this iron giant's legs as it hurled nuclear bombs and propaganda to devastating effect was an utter joy, as while these sections were going on, you felt truly invincible, which is a rare power fantasy in a game world that looks to eat you at every turn. So what if I told you that there was an obscure, and I mean really obscure, PS2 game that let you control your own monstrous Mecha Man? Say hello, but only if you're in Japan, so konnichiwa, to Tetsujin 28 Go, a game in which you play as a 10-year-old boy who has access to the titular death machine, and yes, that does raise a lot of questions. But strangely, the answers are even more odd, because it turns out that this young lad was given this robot by his father after his dad developed the machine for use against the Allies in World War II, but then Japan surrendered before he got a chance to get to the front lines. Naturally, this meant that his pops decided to go against the logical choice of deactivating this death machine and instead gifted it to his young son. Seriously, I couldn't be trusted with a Game Boy when I was 10. How the hell does this chump land himself the Iron Giant, or Gigantor, as it was known here in the US? Anyway, back to the game, and here you control Gigantor using a special remote control and command it to pick up buildings, bash bad guys into body paste, and make use of the hilarious ragdoll physics that this game comes with. Seriously, smashing into like a 30-foot tall robot and watching it just do like cartwheels and stuff like that never gets old. That is peak enjoyment and the sole reason you should seek out this game. And you do all of this to some intensely patriotic music, making this seem like a Robco Industries demonstration of their brand new and utterly unhinged machine. If you ever wanted to control a Japanese version of Liberty Prime, well, this is the game for you, my friend. Weird request, but still, got you covered. Whew, and there we go, my friends. Those were 8 video games like Bethesda's Fallout that I guarantee you've never played. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, and let me know on the rare occasion that you have played any of these games. I'm always interested to hear. And who knows, maybe I'll be back with another version of this, because trust me, in my research attempts, I uncovered so many more games that are pushing into this post-apocalyptic territory, and some of them are incredible. I would have easily been able to do a list of upcoming games in this vein, but I didn't want to just like do the games that you can't play right now. But trust me, there are a lot on the horizon. But that's a video for another day, my friend. If you want to chat to me in the meantime, you can follow me over here on my social medias, and you can follow my lovely editor Mark over here on his social medias as well. But before we go, I just want to say, hope that you're treating yourself well, my friend. Hope that you are reminding yourself at every possible turn that you are a massive ledge and you deserve the best things in life, like love, happiness, and success. We all do as human beings, so don't beat yourself up, all right? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're a massive ledge. Now get out there and smash your life goals today. I believe in you. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Tunnel snakes rule.